Hello, everybody. My name is Peter.
I'm Parker.
And welcome back to the ALWT podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start everything off here with apologizing for the third time in a row for the consistency of this because my PC decided, you know what? I'm going to take this new graphics card and ask for more. It wasn't graphics card, it was motherboard. So we put this new motherboard in and literally it doesn't work again. So I'm crying over here. I wasn't actually crying. I was very sad though. So now apparently I need a new CPU as well. I don't even know. Sorry, so I'm assuming, all right, that my computer decided it's gonna overheat everything and not tell me. So yeah, that's fun. So we're gonna, of course, once I get my CPU back, hopefully within the next few weeks. Yeah,
it's like the new running gag of Disney's worth $5 billion is I'm sorry my computer's broken. And just
oh, okay. Oh, I get to see this firsthand.
Peter's computer's still broken.
That's unfortunately correct. Yeehaw. Running back over, dog. Hilariously set up. By the way, right now our setup is looking quite beautiful.
It looks like a fallout shelter in here.
It does. We got like blankets covering up the windows and random corners of the room. We have an image set up on the monitor of just angry people to encourage us.
That's the audience.
That's the audience.
They're screaming at us to do a better job. One guy's doing karate hands.
One guy is just straight up ready for a kiss. Look at him.
Oh, I'm gonna kiss you. Always better do a good job.
All right. So I wanted to kick this off with, this was actually earlier today. So I'm sitting in bed listening to music, of course, as I do. Mm-hmm. So I'm listening to some tunes, all right, and it just goes pitch silent. Ooh. It's just completely silent, and I hear in the most like Asian American tone ever, "Please charging." it's just "Please charging." I'm like, wait, hold on, let's break this down a little bit. It's like someone like finished the headphones and had nothing set up to ask for charging. So they just says, hey, Wendy, come over here. It's like, you're not paying me for this? Okay, I'm not putting any effort in. Please charge it.
Dude, I swear, that's how it is with every single like Bluetooth thing I've ever owned.
Exactly. It's like, it's always some sort of like Asian voice.
We have a shower speaker in there that doesn't really work anymore, but it had a voice that would go, the Bluetooth, or it would be like, what was it? It would be like, the Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Bro, they're always like so awkward as well. It's never like a hey, yo, charge the headphones, man. Come on.
You're running out of battery. Plug it in.
Just like some sort of R2D. Like, I feel like that'd be a cool thing, just to have different voices.
Yeah. Well, it's like how they have with like GPSs,
exactly. Where
you can have different voices. It's people that have like Samuel L. Jackson, like GPS.
Turn the car, mother.
Turn left. I said left. We have a device in our car that plugs in, lets you connect your phone to the radio, and it goes, waiting for Perry. It just sounds like he's saying he's waiting for Perry. So it's like
Perry.
You always gotta start off your playlist with then "Perry Come Home" by Phineas and Ferb.
Come home, Perry. Come home, Perry. Come home.
You seen
I remember that one.
There's
so good.
People have realized if you tune up, if you like if you turn up the pitch on any Green Day song, it sounds like Phineas and Ferb.
Oh gosh, that'd be awesome. That's awesome, dude. I love that show, man. When I was growing up, that was my jam. I've literally seen every episode more than like 5 times. That's what I say with all my shows, really. Mm-hmm. All the shows I watched when I was younger, I just was completely obsessed with, like, in unhealthy levels.
Yeah, I'm going back through and binging Avatar right now.
Oh, dude. Actually, another one with that. Literally, I just finished binging that for like the 6th time. Not even kidding. Best shows ever on the list. Avatar, Phineas and Ferb, Mythbusters. Like, just, it can go down.
Yeah. With Avatar, I haven't seen it since I first watched it, like when it first came out all those years ago. And now I'm going back and I'm like, I have no memory of half of this. And it's like plot points I thought would be like season 3. It's like, oh, we're there already?
Yeah, no, I know that. But I pretty much memorized the entire series already. So I go through the first episode and I'm already at the 6th season. I'm like, Oh, okay. This is not order again.
Also, I just realized we're recording in mono.
Oh, is that bad?
Hang on. We're gonna take a quick.
All right, never mind then. I guess we're
Okay.
recording in mono.
Yeah, I guess.
That's-
Won't let me do anything other than mono recording.
Maybe you have to like restart the recording.
I really don't want to do that.
All right, never mind. So we're just gonna move it on.
We're already 5 minutes into
This is
it.
this is
Just
this,
keep
this is
rolling.
gonna be a very mono recording session. All right. That's
So it's just gonna be like, now I'm on your right, now I'm on your left. Can you tell? No.
no. I mean, I guess that's better since we're both on different sides.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll set up like 2 microphones.
An ASMR.
Yeah.
And it's just one in your left ear and one in your right ear.
Yeah, they have those microphones that it's like they have like
Omnidirectional.
yeah, where they have or they have ones where it's like it'll be a microphone on one side of the device and another microphone on the other, and it has like ear-shaped piece of rubber on it. So it's like it sounds like it's right in your ear realistically.
Oh. There's something to do to ASMR with, right?
Yeah.
ASMR police. Let's go.
Yeah, it's for binaural ASMR.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I heard Jacksepticeye talking about that. I know.
Yeah. I think he did
This is
one
the
with
place. He did. It was a game.
it. Oh.
It was a game that had mono. It was supposed to like simulate. It was like one of those really creepy games.
Oh, I think those are what people use also when they record those like really creepy videos where it's like you'll be listening to a song and it'll be like, there's nothing weird about this, and you'll just hear
Yeah, I know. And it sounds so real and it's horrifying.
or it's like it'll be like a knock on your window.
Oh god, that's the worst.
I
couldn't
hate
do
those.
Dude, especially me having like knives at every corner of my room.
Oh, you know,
just throws a random knife in a direction. Yeah.
what's that one game that's like the fear test thing? Jacksepticeye also
Oh, what was that? Was that an actual like? It was like a black screen and it was like actual like words.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was
Yeah.
that was. Oh, I forget that was called. That was a cool one. I like that one.
Yeah.
That scarred me a little bit though. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that when I was a little bit younger. I was like 12.
No, this was something he did really recently.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then I don't know.
It's like someone's like, it's like people, they do this test and then it gives them nightmares. And
Yes. No.
yeah.
I know. I remember that one. I remember that one too.
He did
yeah.
like last Halloween or something.
Oh yeah. No, I watched that. I love that actually. Okay, we're talking about two different things here now.
Mhm.
All right. Now, okay, let's just move on. All right. What's next on the agenda?
Well, I guess we've got if you would like to talk about your police explorers.
Ooh. Okay. So this is an interesting concept here. So a few weeks ago, one of the reasons we were gone for so long was because I was attending a Police Explorer Academy. Now, I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this. So I go to ask, and I'll bring up the whole text conversation here. I go to ask, because I'm still good friends with the Police Explorers that I did the academy with, and I ask, and I quote, would it be bad if I told my Police Explorer Academy experience on a podcast? And one of the explorers goes, I don't think so, because no one really listens to them. And everyone liked it.
Everyone liked that.
And it was sad, but yeah, no, hopefully I'm fine. If Officer McCool guy, you know what, never mind, cut that out. I'm not gonna mention names, I realize that now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna cut that little part out?
Yeah.
Do that? All right, cool. So I'm gonna go.
So put Officer McCool guy.
Yeah, go
Put
with
that over it.
Officer McCool guy. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. So what I was told by the explorers is just not to mention names or agencies. So I will not be mentioning names and or agencies just in case.
That's smart.
So this was with the blank police post. So we had a bunch of explorers, different explorer posts from everywhere, and it was awesome. So okay, let's just go in this chronologically here.
Okay.
So first day, all right. We get there, all right, and my entire post is wearing the wrong shirt. So we have a good, we get there we're actually a good 5 minutes late as well, which you would never do ever at a police thing. So they haven't actually started yet. So we're like, okay, let's go real quick. So we change our shirts, and the second we step foot on the the sidewalk that leads into the whatever, they run out and start yelling. So we made it with our shirts. Either way, they go out what are y'all doing? Of course, the whole sergeant all yelling at us. It was scary. I'm two people started crying. Good God. And then, so they tell us to go line up, and we are lining up and putting our stuff down. And on the way back, I go, hey, I know you. So it turns out I had old friends that were on one of the posts. So I'm just like, hey, what's up? Of course, I didn't go, hey, what's up? Because they were yelling at us, but So we're lining up, we did inspection. They all yelled at everybody because everybody did something wrong. And they go, all right, who's going to step up? Who's going to be a squad leader? I'm just like,
I imagine who you're talking about as that guy right there to the right, doing this.
Actually, not even gonna lie, he looks pretty similar to. So yeah, so I'm going, I'll be a squad leader. So I didn't realize the responsibility that I was taking on then, but I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. So I go step in the front of the line, which is, so we're all lined up to the right. So I'm on the right in the back. So I'm back right. So that means not all the people were paying attention to me. So the squad leader up front got fired twice. Ooh. So there were 2 different squad leaders for squad 1. I was in charge of squad 4. So, basically, I after the first day, so this is the first day still. We were all scared. We were all, of course, we were all. We didn't do PT that day, so
Silent Hill.
We had no physical training.
Silent Hill.
But what's Silent Hill?
Was it Silent Hill PT?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I didn't play Silent.
Oh, man.
I'm too much of a child to play Silent. I'm not old enough. My mom says it's too scary. So
my mommy says I can't play Silent Hill anymore because I played it and I screamed.
Good God. It just dawned upon me that probably some of the explorers are going to see this.
Your laugh there looks like a gear shift.
It does. Anyways. So, okay, so first day, again, we're all scared. We're all sit down in our assigned seats, actually. So first day, we're all scared. Okay, so basically, it was 4 hours. It was normally an hour of PT and then 4 hours of classes. And then it was like 6. It was overall like 6 hours long a day for 2 weeks. So it's fun. It was very fun. And every time someone messed up, we'd all mess up. So we did push-ups all day because some explorer that I'm not going to mention, but you know who I'm talking to, always kept mentioning something about, I don't know, a certain car. So anyways, so we had 4 hours of classes, whatever. Let's think. That day was pretty much boring. That day the first week was kind of just classes, which wasn't entirely boring. There was a lot of really interesting stuff. Now we all learned a lot, but it was just sitting down in classwork. So the second day we studied PT for the first time. Let me tell you something. You don't know what it's like to be sore until you have difficulty actually moving your hand to write.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was fun. That was fun. And I say that sarcastically because it was not fun. It was actually quite horrible. But we all did it except one person. One person.
Always one.
There's always one. And she got, actually by the end of the week, she actually got kicked out, which was interesting. Of course, I'm not going to mention names, but again, actually, you know what? We don't know her. So everyone else knows who we're talking about.
Explorer McBad girl.
So, excuse me.
Rest in peace, my dude.
So we were talking about, I was talking to the explorers about this, and they said to just make up fake names. So I'm going to make up fake names for people. So the first, I forget the days that everything happened, because it all kind of mushed together when you get up at 4 a.m. for 2 weeks straight. So I'm going to go for the third day, I think. It was a little later than that. So, okay, honestly, first week was really just PT and classes. So I'm going to say around fifth day. So someone in my squad, we'll call him, it's a good name for him.
John Mulaney.
Okay, we'll call him John Mulaney. So John here, by the way, I've been watching a lot of John Mulaney. It's pretty awesome. I love John Mulaney now. Okay, so off topic. John here, he decides, and again, you know who you're talking, and you know who you are. We're changing from our PT gear to our uniform. Every day as we did, we're all sweaty. It's really not fun at all. It sucked a lot. So we changed from PT gear to our uniform. And John's next to me right here. And I go, and no, he goes to me, "Hey, Peter, I forgot my pants." And I look at him with the deadest eyes. And I go, "Oh." So I don't think you understand what that means, all right? That means we're all going to get yelled at. We're all going to have to do push-ups. And this was picture day.
Oh no.
So actually I can show the image to you, but I'm not going to be able to show the image to anyone else.
I'm just going to make a little stick figure drawing.
Yes, if you make a stick figure drawing of what this looks like.
Why do I make work for myself?
I don't know.
I make so much work for myself.
So here it is. This is an edit someone made. This is him forgetting his pants.
10 haunting photos taken moments before disaster.
Actually, here's what you do. If you block out all the faces and patches and do that.
I'm just gonna illustrate it.
Illustrate
this little stick figure guy.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so okay, let me explain this. So this is we had the LT looking at him, and he's just standing there in uniform but without pants and just his PT shorts. Yeah. God, that was so bad. It was so scary. But in hindsight, it's hilarious. So okay, so first week pretty boring. Let me think of what else. So honestly, there wasn't really much else to talk about. It was just a really good experience. We did a lot of of course. One day we did some driving training and stuff, and we did shooting, and there's not really much. There's all the funny stuff that happened was like people forgetting things, because a lot of people forgot a lot of things. I actually forgot my pants on the last day.
Nice.
Actually, some explorers don't know that. On the last day, I did forget my pants, but I did go and get them real quick before graduation, which you were invited to, but didn't show up.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. You're good.
Was I invited to something?
No, it's all right. It's honestly that.
Did I get invited to something?
Honestly, I don't remember. I was so tired. I just invite everybody.
I don't think I ever got an invite to that.
Forget about it. It's all right.
I want to be there. Be supportive.
No, you know what? It's okay. A lot of people took your place. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, there were so many other candidates for friends and podcast hosts that showed up.
No, it was really boring, actually. I mean, it was awesome for us. It was really boring for people watching. But it was actually kind of... So we practiced the entire graduation like 6 or 7 times beforehand. And it was... Oh, that was interesting. But yeah, I can't really think of... I don't think of any more stories. I mean, none of these stories are really like that interesting unless you were there. Oh, okay, one. Okay, so we're in class, all right? And we'll call him Officer McCool Guy.
We already have Officer McCool Guy.
No, this is the same guy.
Oh.
All right. So Officer McCool Guy, again, the explorers know who I'm talking about. So he's doing a class.
Nobody's gonna know what you're talking about because none of them are gonna listen.
You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. If you're an explorer listening, shout out. But respect, bro. So he's leading a class. All right. So so there's these people. I forget what they're called. They're people who basically come in and try to find mistakes. So they come into this place, where we were doing our training. They come in with cameras.
So you have Officer Gordon Ramsay.
Exactly. No, these weren't officers.
Oh.
They're just civilians. Civilians come in with cameras and start recording. They literally go up to the window of where we're training and point cameras in. An Officer McCool Guy.
Ow.
No, they didn't knock or anything, because then they get in trouble, but they didn't do anything wrong technically. So they go outside and they start recording his car and looking around his car. And Officer McCool Guy if they see him I swear if they touch my car. it was so hilarious. But yeah, it was a good experience. It was a good experience. I learned a lot, and yeah, there's not really much else to talk about that I can talk about, without people getting mad at me.
Yeah, legally.
Legally. Well, actually, I don't even know legally. I just don't want to get kicked out of my own post.
Well,
because you got to be careful with these things. The people be like, "Oh, you're an explorer? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot you," which happens, believe it or not. Anyways, so.
Okay.
Well, most of the time, that happens because they mistake us for officers.
Ah.
And actually, like that has happened. I was at an event and the officer, like no, I'm not. It wasn't really interesting what happened. I'm just like, no, I'm not an officer, and that's pretty much it. Anyways,
I'm not police. Don't shoot me.
But yeah, seriously, that's in the policy.
Wow.
It's like you cannot wear your uniform anywhere else for safety reasons, and it's true. It's scary. It is scary, but it is also awesome. Anyways, that's If I remember any stories, I'm pretty sure I'll just butt into our next conversation.
Probably.
Yeah, but hey, what's next on the agenda?
I guess next we got Camp Cali.
Ooh! That was loud. Oh, baby. I'm honestly kind of nervous now about saying all these things about the academy because they could get mad at us. Oh, I got another story. I'm just thinking of it now. Okay, so I'm going to try to be very cool about this. So we did some scenarios at the end of the week. I just broke your chair. More. I'm sorry.
No, it was just like that.
Oh, okay, cool. So
that chair can't get any more.
If you can't hear it. Oh, that's in the waveform. Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay. We're gonna stop that right there. Anyways.
We're gonna get a knock on the door.
Just like, excuse me.
What are you boys doing in here?
Nothing, Mom.
I'm going. I'm talking to people on the internet.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, so we're doing scenarios. All right. And this first scenario we did, it was actually in an airsoft ring, which was really cool. So we had like actual buildings we went in. So it was funny because at this point, the officers and the lieutenants that were teaching us were the suspects. And it was so funny because we're all scared of these people. So, okay, first scenario, there's this big guy, all right? And I'm talking like a mixture of you and me, but buff.
Oh, wow.
It was horrifying. He was like...
That would be terrifying.
He's like 6'5" and like... But and he's big boned and buff. Like it was scary.
He is Moto.
Yeah, exactly. This is an officer representation of Moto. So he's like a guy in a Walmart or something, like disappointed about that his what's it called? He's not getting his money back instantly because he already paid, but it with card. It was a whole thing. So he's like starting to yell and stuff. So I walk into this building and we had sim guns on us. So the first thing I do, I see him and I unclip my sim gun, which apparently was the wrong thing to do, but I didn't like, because I wasn't used to my holster, so I felt like I couldn't get it out quick enough because I did not trust this. He was big and he was scary. Oof. And he's like, well, yeah, you're gonna meet scary people. But anyways, he's we were split up into groups of 4. So there were explorers that I was like working well with. So, but anyways, we sort of split up, and I was with these. So it was 2 and 2. So I'll go to the other 2. Oh my god, I think of names. So I'm gonna call her. Let's see. I have 2 girls and a guy. I think it was. I only remember one of them. So we'll call one of them Explorer Tall, and then Explorer. Forget who else I had. Who else was new to me? Honestly.
Explorer Tall and Explorer Small.
Exactly. Okay, we have Explorer Tall, Explorer Small, and Explorer forgets everything. No, I'm pretty sure I forget which explorers I actually work with. I only remember Explorer Tall actually, and that's kind of sad now that I think about it. But I still love you guys. Don't worry about it. So okay, I remember there was I think it was. Oh, I remember now. So yeah, I'll call him Explorer Spaceman. All right, so Explorer Spaceman, Explore me, which is So we're talking to the big guy. He's like, and he's getting all angry and he's like kicking the door and stuff. So apparently I could have arrested him for that because I didn't know, which I really was. It'd be interesting trying to arrest this man who was like, towering over me.
That would be so
It was horrifying. But he's like yelling at us. I'm like, sir, calm down. But I'm also like backing up a good 10 feet away from him.
It's like bullfighting at that point.
Exactly. So we call Explorer Tall comes over and she explains the whole situation. I'm like, all right, let's just calm down. So again, so the big guy starts going over to the other guy, the other officer who was helping us, or I forget. Never mind. I'm not going to use any specifics here to be very careful about this. But he gets it's just like a whole fight goes on. I'm like, sir, back up. It was so sad because like he wasn't listening to me at all because I was not at all intimidating to this man.
You have no power.
I have no power here. So, but apparently I could have arrested him. And that was the right thing to do. Anyways, so the next scenario was a vehicle one. So Officer McCool guy, he's scary. All right, he's very scary. Again, most of the officers were. There were some who weren't, and they were very nice. My post, by the way, that all your guys' officers are scary. So my post's officers are not as scary as normal, but they're also very funny. But all the officers were funny, but at times it's scary because you'd be talking to them and they can get all serious and mad at you. But then again, they're like, "Why aren't you guys joking around with us?" I'm like, "Well, it's because you're scary." Anyways,
why didn't the chicken cross the road?
No, it was honestly like that. It was because he's like, I made a joke, guys. Why aren't you laughing? I'm like, well, because you're scary. So, okay, Officer McCool guy, it was a traffic stop that we were scenarioing. So we're in the car with Explorer Tall, and the other 2 explorers were, I forget. It was me and Explorer Tall. We'll call her. So, Officer McCool guy comes up to us and he gives the situation. Okay, call it in the radio. And I'm like, what? And he goes, we taught you this, call it in the radio. I'm like, wait, when did you teach me this? And he literally goes, really? Because he taught that class.
Oh no!
So mine drew a blank as it does normally in scenarios. So yes, I mean we did good in the end, but that we forgot everything. Again, the training of the 2 weeks sort of blended together, and it was very difficult because we were all falling asleep during all the classes. Yeah. It was just a very difficult experience, and the tests we covered were on spelling and not actually on what we learned, like in the class. Which I guess that's sort of how it is in the real academy. I think maybe I don't know. And either way, it was still good. So we did this in
G-U-N gun.
More like misdemeanor. MISDEAMOR. That was wrong.
What about Mr. Demeanor?
Anyways, so
Look, I thought that the police, that in 2019, at least, we could have a fair and equal gender representation in offices of law.
you make their jobs difficult. Anyways, so we get out of the car and we go up to this suspect, whatever thing. And so it's legal to own a weapon in Arizona. So I go up to him and I asked, "Do you have a weapon?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Then what is that gun right there?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot I had that." I'm like, "Of course you did." So, so I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. So apparently I'm supposed to get him out of the car, and then grab the weapon. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really care. So I go and grab the weapon, and I take it out. And Errol is good in the world. So the Explorer Tall ran the numbers, whatever. He was good. We let him go. So and then Officer McCool guy goes all the wrong things. You did everything wrong there. And oh my gosh, my mom just sent me a text that we got Avengers Endgame. Let's go. Sorry. Okay, off topic. Then again, so I'm gonna go with the other cool scenario. Okay, we did a few more scenarios, but it was me, Explorer Tall, and I believe Explorer Spaceman. So, oh wait, there's two more. Okay, so here, let's go with this. So it was a domestic dispute, but it was my post. My post officers were there, so they go. It was like them fighting or whatever, and it was the funniest thing ever. It's so hard not to laugh because they're so funny with it. So we walk in and they're all fighting about like their furniture and stuff. we just like separating them and like we separated them, but they were just yelling at each other like through walls. Like, sir, you need to calm down.
Dude, we got out here in this my neighbors over there.
You can't see what he's pointing at the north.
Pointing down at that wall.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been having them like constantly recently, like every few weeks. You'll just hear shouting out in the street for like 2 to 3 hours at a time.
Dang, bro.
And like first time it happened was like 4th of July. And so it's like if I hear a bang noise, I'm not gonna know.
Shots fired. Wait, it's just a firework. Crap. What do we do?
I mean, we did have, down at the end of the street, there was a fireworks stand that, on 4th of July, 2 people tried to rob. And, like, it was literally, like right down the road there. And 2 people tried to rob it, and 1 got killed.
Dang.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Fun, just right...
Unspecified location.
That's, someone fell in...
Unspecified location of...
I think. Maybe. I don't know. No, nothing goes around. Mine
unspecified location of residence.
Too safe to the point where it's boring, you know?
Yeah.
Yours is interesting. I want to live here. Let's switch.
It gets kind of interesting out here, especially when you think about what we just saw downstairs with...
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that after.
Okay.
So the last scenario I'll talk about,
that's going to be something fun to talk about.
That is going to be something interesting to talk about, especially from my perspective. So... so this is the last scenario. This was with another officer, another humongous officer. Was there a lot of
humongous?
Exactly. So again, it's me and all the other explorers that I mentioned. So we go out, and it was a suspicious person's call. And at this point, we haven't actually had to draw our weapons in any of the scenarios. So I'm like, I was getting a little antsy, you know. So I turn this corner, and I see the guy there, and I no joke jump. I straight up yeet myself backwards. And that was not apparently the right thing to do because he was just a suspicious person, if I could speak English correctly. So again, it was just pretty much a boring scenario, but the fact that I jumped funny, and I'm sure it's still talked about a lot.
Yeah, if I was just out in the street and somebody called in a report on me looking suspicious, cop comes around the corner and he goes, "Whoa!"
Oh man. That was funny. At this point, I was just like, it was very hot outside, and we're all uncomfortable, and it was just...
Yeah, this is like middle of the summer.
Yeah, and we all, of course the officers have their uniforms, they have armor on, and we can't really say anything that we can complain, but we were in our uniforms as well. We didn't have armor on, so we couldn't complain, but it was also very hot, so I feel, big respect for officers in Arizona. Anyways, it's very warm. It's warm in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're wearing, like, jacket.
That's for the style. I've said this many times before. People say, well, it's warm out. Why are you wearing jeans and a jacket? And I say, fashion.
And then I'm just over here with cargo shorts with paint all over them.
Yeah. Oh, this jacket has paint all over it. On the inside over here when I was painting my room.
You painted your room?
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off topic. Okay, actually, I'm pretty much done with that. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm going to keep thinking of things throughout this episode, I swear. What time are we at? Oh my gosh, we're already at 30 minutes. Bro, we haven't even started. We have still so much more to talk about.
I'm not even getting started.
I ain't even getting started. Oh gosh, this chair's going to make so much noise in post. Okay, so this was the last one. So we had, we'll call them Explorer, I try not to be offensive here.
Explorer Truck Month.
Explorer, I don't know. Explorer, yes, okay, we'll go Explorer Toyota. So Explorer Toyota, we're doing defensive driving training for like very little bit. So we're driving down and we have to either go left or right within a very short period of time going 50 miles an hour. Probably wasn't 50, more like 15, but it felt like 50, you understand? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're driving down. So it was Explorer Toyota's turn, and we've most of us have gone to this point. So we're driving down, and he goes, and we see him, and we're like, oh yeah, he's gonna do it, and we see the most beautiful thing ever, which was a turn signal.
Nice.
He's going down, and he turns his turn signal on to turn. It was so silly. We were all laughing so hard. Oh, it was the best.
That's a rare sighting out here. Nobody ever uses signals.
But like you're not supposed to use it. It doesn't matter when you're going 50 miles an hour.
What people do on the road out here is their business and their business only.
Good God. All right. Okay. Well, that's for now. That's pretty much all I got right now.
So you want to talk about what we saw downstairs?
Oh yeah. So I walk in today. I walk in home, and Ian calls me from the other room. Hey, come here. I walk in and I look at him, and he's eating a taco. And I turn away, and I'm about to leave to go record this podcast. He goes, "What's that?" And he's sitting in a shopping cart. Mm-hmm. You're sitting in a shopping cart, and I go, "Bro, where'd you get that? Like, what, this taco?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it turns out that I don't even know how or when that sometime today, but they found a Target shopping cart somewhere in my neighborhood just sitting out, and they brought it home with them. Which now my mother is very, very adamantly saying, you should return that. That's probably a homeless person's.
Good God.
Okay, I don't know when that cut out.
But, hi again. So we're going to start off with Camp Cali?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? You should finally tell a story.
Yes. For once in a podcast, I'm going to have something to say.
Exactly. I'm very excited to make jokes that aren't funny.
So, we went back a few weeks ago. I believe it was July 23rd, 24th, and we went to California. We spent the day at Walt Disneyland, and so it was a very long ride to get there. I should say it was 8 hours up from where we are now, and beep and beep beep beep.
Thank you.
And so the day that we left out, they were like, okay, we're going to be leaving at midnight, driving out to California. And so I thought, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to get no sleep the night before, and then I can just pass out on the bus. That did not happen.
That doesn't work. And by the way, I just want to point out, last year we left at 3 in the morning.
But we left out at midnight. And I thought I would get any kind of sleep on the bus. Turns out, no, that's just not gonna happen. And so,
right.
I ended up going into some weird dissociation for 2 hours, which is the closest thing to sleep I could get.
Yep.
So 8 hours, we get there.
By the way, during this entire trip, I literally watched nothing but Detroit Become Human, Jacksepticeye playlist.
Yeah, I had nothing prepared hardly for this trip. I had music downloaded and stuff, but I only
that's not enough.
I only had one podcast downloaded for the way up because I couldn't get the others downloaded fast enough.
Oof. Yeah, I prepared weeks in advance. They have good connection on the bus, surprisingly.
Well, I didn't. Was there Wi-Fi?
No.
Yeah, I
figured.
figured.
What, nerd? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But yeah. So I had nothing to do. And so I learned a very important lesson when you have to drive 8 hours up and back on a bus. This was a charter bus too, so it wasn't uncomfortable or anything.
It was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it was okay. But I learned the valuable art of sitting there and doing nothing, just for 16 hours of trip, just absolute nothing.
I would have went mentally insane. I literally would have actually just jumped off the bus at that point. Like, if I did not have something to watch, I would have died.
Honestly, it was an amazing refresher.
Really?
Because I spend, 24/7 sat looking at, like, a bright screen. But when you've just got, like, all day and all night, first you're driving from midnight to sunrise, and then you're driving from sunrise to sundown, then it's like, it's like you reset almost.
Really?
Where it's like, I'm not having something distracting me constantly while we're driving here. I can just sit here and not think.
Really?
And that is a blessing of its own.
I can't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I literally am. I was thinking that entire trip, even when I was doing nothing. I couldn't sleep because of it. It was bad. It was bad. Anyways.
Yeah. And so, get to Disney. Everybody gets checked in. And so everybody, we're going with a large group here. We're going with a church. And so they tell everybody to split off into groups. No person, you can't have anybody less than 3 people at any time. 2. Less than 3.
It's 2.
You can't have 2 people split off because they don't want couples.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
They didn't want couples to just split off at Disney. So you couldn't have a group smaller than 3 people. We had a group of like 8 people when we started.
No, it was less than that. It was like 7.
It was like 7 or 8
let me
at
think.
the
Let me
start.
think. Kaylee, and then not Kaylee, and then
Kaylee, not Kaylee.
Well,
other not
Kaylee's
Kaylee.
sister, so we'll call her not Kaylee, but it's I forget her name. It's Kenzie. That's it. Daphne, who by the way you put in the wrong.
I
so
did.
I sent him a picture of Daphne and I asked, hey, you want me to put you in this podcast? And literally Parker puts her in the wrong spot with the wrong name, and then it was Melissa, then Andrew, and then no. Okay, so it was a good like 6 people, 7 people.
Yeah.
And you. So yeah, including you, it was probably 8.
Yeah. So we had a large group where we tried to decide at the start.
Oh, good God.
We tried to decide who was going to be the leader of the group, so we know where everybody's going and where everything's happening. Until about 5 seconds of walking through the park, and like half of the group is immediately
Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like even sort of I was elected as like a leader for like a good 30 seconds, and I'm like, all right, let's go this way. But like, I want to go this way. I want to go this way. I want to go this way. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, they were,
Let's decide this as adults.
just half of the group would just split off on their own and do whatever while we were trying to
Exactly.
get somewhere.
It
And
was-
so that made it very hard.
It was very difficult to keep a group of 8 teenagers together. I mean, it's really difficult to keep a group of 8 teenagers together just normally, but let alone
Yeah.
in Disneyland.
Yeah, and we got to have some good fun talking with like cast members and stuff. I got a picture with Mary Poppins, one of my favorite Disney characters, and then we got manly training by Gaston.
Gaston. Okay, actually, I have a little bit of story for this. So he's talking to us, in character and all, and he looks at my friend Nolan here, and he goes, "You should eat 4 cartons of raw eggs a day." And he looks at me and go, "You eat 2.5." I'm like, yes, I am more fit than Nolan is. Ha, got him.
But wasn't that the thing with Gaston where the bigger and stronger he get, the more eggs he ate?
Yes, I think pretty sure.
So
Well,
he
but
said-
no, he
so-
was. Hey, do not take this from me.
I think he was giving estimates of how many eggs we ate per day.
No. Do not take this from me. It's okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Shut up.
The great thing though with the Gaston actor at Disney is that not actor, he is Gaston,
Of course.
and the kids at home watching it is Gaston.
It is completely real.
It's not just somebody pretending to be him. That is Gaston.
Exactly.
And so Gaston there, you don't just like get to go up to him and take a picture with him. He gives you manly training.
Oh, it's amazing.
So like other actors, you just go up and other characters, you go up and you're like,
kids, man,
it's like,
the kids.
Can I get a picture and an autograph? And they're like, oh sure. And then you take your picture. But Gaston, he's like, get over here and pose. You flex for me, flex. Oh, you look like a strong young man. You know how to hold a bow and arrow? Show me. And he does that for like 4 minutes.
And then they insult you.
Oh yeah.
They insult you a lot. It's hilarious, especially when it's not you. It's because they were like, oh man. They pick out one person as well. They
Yeah.
really picked on Nolan a lot.
Yeah.
And oh man, that was hilarious. But inevitably, everybody got picked on.
It was great with with like eventually like other characters that would be cycling around in that area, and like they would be talking in character like to
each other.
Yeah. So it'd be like, where might we find Princess Alana at 3 p.m.? Oh, by the castle. Thank you.
Just
and then
discreet way of passing information.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And then Mad Hatter, he was like, I'm so sorry that he's trying to teach you this. You poor souls.
It was hilarious.
And one time Gaston, he was like, maybe someday if you train hard enough, you could look just like me. It's like, you'll probably never look like me. And I went, God, I wish, under my breath. And he turned around and went, yes, you do. It was great.
Was so good. That was good.
Another big benefit of getting to Disney at sunrise, it was so not busy.
It was considerably less busy than usual.
It was like we hardly had to wait in any lines for most of the day.
Yeah.
There were only a couple lines.
Yeah, like Splash Mountain.
Well, yeah. That was fun.
You think that was fun for you? For me, that was a trip.
Yeah, but it's like we had a couple rides. We had Fast Pass for, but the ones that we did have Fast Pass for, the rides ended up breaking down in the Fast Pass line, so we had to wait the normal time. Most stuff, like we got to go on the Space Mountain there, and like that was like no line at all.
It was like the Star Wars Space Mountain. Oh, it was so good.
So we had, I think, 3 rides in total that we waited for. We had Splash Mountain, which was like an hour wait to get in, and in that time, I ended up having a great conversation with Nolan.
Really?
I got to know him better. So that
you know
was
what
fun.
I got to do?
What?
I got.
Yeah, you got to get roasted in the sun.
I don't like Splash Mountain. Everybody else likes Splash Mountain, so I'm like, I'll sit and watch your stuff for you. The line doesn't look that long, so they go, and an hour later they come back. At this point, I'm feeling a little weird, guys. I couldn't feel my fingers or my toes. I start walking and stumbling.
That is an issue.
And I'm like, okay, something's a little bit wrong here. So we go and get food, and I'm like, I need to go sit down. And there weren't any seats inside, so I'm just gonna go sit down outside, guys. I'm like, I can't stay. I'm like falling over. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass out. So I feverishly text with the utmost difficulty moving my thumbs, I'm passing out, to some of my friends. And they're like, where are you? And I'm like, outside tree. Literally. And I'm like, all right, you need to go to the doctor. So another person...
We had to fight you to get to the doctor, though.
You know what? I did not want to go to the doctor at all, because I'm like, I was so hungry.
There's not one singular trip.
so food.
I was so food.
I was so hungry, bro. Okay, wait, hold on. Before we get to how many injuries I've had on this specific church's trips. So actually, I just want to shout out whoever from the church who I didn't know went out like, you need help, we're taking you. So she's literally, she basically took my arm and she just pulled me there. I'm like passing out the entire time. And I get to the nurse's office and they call my mom and all that crap. But I ended up being fine and enjoying the rest of my day. But this was the 4th time that during one of the, actually every time I've ever gone on a trip with this church, I have horribly injured myself in some sort of way. From incredibly migraine headaches to terrible sunburn to which was axe in finger, and then today.
And now heat stroke. Yeah. Can I tell you what it looked like from like an outsider perspective?
I would love to hear what it looked like from an outsider perspective.
We get out of Splash Mountain and we're trying to find Peter, and then he sends us the text of where he is.
Which, by the way, I hadn't moved the entire time.
And so we're trying to move all the way from the like Pioneer Land area towards the it was
the bridge. It was a bridge. It was a bridge.
It was a Pizza Planet we were trying to walk towards.
And
so we try walking all the way over there, and Peter's sitting down every like 2 seconds, obviously very exhausted, chugging as much water as he can. And so then meanwhile, that's all fine. It's just a little bit loose in there.
All right.
It doesn't go all the way in.
We'll ignore that.
And so we're just walking over. Peter's having a rough time. And meanwhile, he's like tripping over himself, like almost falling, while also having a mental breakdown at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just like, this boy needs to go to the hospital. And so...
Did I start crying at one point?
I think so.
Oh,
and
that's
so
awesome.
That's where your fluids are going.
Oh.
But we make it inside Pizza Planet, and then Peter just like chucks me his wallet. He's like, "Buy me a water. Just get me water." And so then I get him water, and then I'm like, "Where did he go?" and then I bring the water to him, and then we're like, "Peter, you need to go see a doctor on site." And then he's like, "No, I'm not going to a doctor." And then somebody sitting at a table behind us, they were like, "Oh, does he need to go to the doctor here? We know where they are. We can call them." And so then you're like, "No!" And then you have to be escorted to the doctor.
I did. It was sad and embarrassing to be. I did actually inevitably had a very dangerous situation in my hands, but I didn't want to accept that, so I just sort of you know what? Give me Disney or give me death!
So you got to the doctor, and the doctor was just like, "Boy, you just need to drink more water."
No, she said to get out of the sun and eat food, because I hadn't eaten that day.
Yeah.
Literally, the 24 hours I've been up, did not eat anything. 12 hours
You
I've been
didn't have
up.
any of the like donuts that they were handing out?
I had one. So that's just sugar, which helped a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, I hadn't eaten anything. I had no protein.
It's sugars and fats. You need some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, also with
awesome.
we got the church gave us donuts as we were getting off the bus at like 8 a.m. And so I'm wearing my shades. I go over to Seth, and then I got donut in hand, and I go, "You know, chump, if I ate anything healthy at this point, I would give my body whiplash." And this was after like we stopped twice on the bus on the way up, and first time that we stopped, I got a gas station sandwich, which wasn't bad, but my stomach had it bad.
Oh.
Like, let me tell you, I'm not gonna go in detail on this, but the amount of inner turmoil I put my intestines through with the diet I had on this trip, like, it would be enough to, like, corrode my insides.
Good, it's awesome.
Yeah, and so then we end up, after Pizza Planet, we just go a few more rides. The Indiana Jones ride there.
Ooh.
I have
a story with that. So, okay. Actually, this goes in with the heat stroke. So I have a heat exhaustion, and I go, and they're like, "Hey, I'm good. I'm walking over to where you guys are. Where are you guys at?" And they go, "We just got in line for Indiana Jones ride." And I run over there. I swear, I ran. Like, still a little, I'm feeling better, but not like perfect yet. So I'm like I wasn't stumbling. I was just sort of like, "Oh God, this sucks." So I'm running over there, drinking my fluids. And when, of course, not drinking my fluids, I was drinking fluid. So, and I get there, and I'm like, my friends are in line, and they go, "But the ride's closed." I'm like, "But my friends just walked in. I'm texting them right now. They're in line. No, the ride's not working." I'm like, "Okay then."
So it was like this. So with Indiana Jones ride, we had to go in because we were like, our fast pass is like about to expire. We need to get in there. And then so like the second that we get in there, they have like the ambiance of the ride waiting rooms and stuff. They have
they're
like
so cool.
They have like sounds going and like flickering lights. And I joke, "Ooh, electrical problems, spooky." And then we get up towards like the middle of the line, which, by the way, Indiana Jones ride, the line itself, if you're not even fast pass, goes a mile.
Literally, actually, so the ride got open, I was running to get you guys in line. I ran through this ambiance. It took me a good 5 minutes to actually run to
massive.
Sprint through this thing. And
They have to bring you onto like 3 separate ground floors. Like, you have to go up different stories just to continue the line.
And the ride's not even that good.
I thought it was pretty okay, but like it had a good. I think it was a repurposed like version of the dinosaur ride that they usually have at Disney. So the ride was okay. Line was massive, and so I joked when we got in there. It's like, "Ooh, electrical problem, so spooky." And then like they go over the PA's like, "Sorry, the ride is being shut down temporarily. Please wait." And I'm like, "Oh no." I called it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was running through line after it was open to get to you guys. And I was still sort of a little shaken up. So I'm running through this thing, and I swear it was the scariest thing running through this ambiance, because I was running through caves, around corners, because there was no one in line, because it's just been reopened.
That's what that looked like on the security. You just got
Either
a
way,
man like stumble running through
Yeah.
Disneyland.
no, but straight up, I walked past it and I literally see all them. I see all the guys. What's it called? I see you guys. I literally see you guys get on the ride, and I started crying, like straight up. I was still like messed up with the cheese Josh, and I saw you guys on the ride because I was like trying so hard to get with you guys. And oh man, it was very difficult. I literally I was like, oh, this is stupid. I started crying. I'm like, wait, this is stupid. So I go.
It's Indiana Jones.
So I still get on the ride and talk to you guys afterwards. It was good.
Yeah. You got out of the ride like 2 minutes after us.
No. I got on the ride directly after you. Like
Yeah.
literally, I saw you guys get on, and I literally yelled at you guys. It was sad.
Yeah, we're like, oh, there it was. Yeah. And I think what was the only other ride that we had a line for? We had one other one that was like a wait
What was it? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
because we.
I'm thinking.
First it was Splash Mountain that we waited
Yes.
for. Then Indiana Jones.
And then we did have one more long line. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, that was a short one. The
Oh.
Star Wars ride.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have actually split this group in half by point. It's just the boys
Mm-hmm.
and Kenzie and Daphne.
By the way, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, their Panda Express restaurant there, bad.
No.
It was
Shut up.
It was so
It was
bad.
so cool though. I don't care if they're feeding me
It was
prison food.
It was an amazing ambiance of the restaurant. Everything was like really cool aesthetically. The food was nasty there.
It's cool though, bro.
It was nasty.
It was cool. Okay, honestly, I don't care what they did there. It was the coolest thing ever. Seeing all the Star Wars stuff.
Also,
like,
good on the cast members there working at the Galaxy's Edge restaurant where we were like, oh, so what kind of restaurant is this? And they're like, oh, it's just Panda Express.
Oh man, it's so cool. Imagine working there, dude. Imagine being a stormtrooper. Your job is to walk around a Star Wars land
Yeah.
and entertain people.
That's gotta get hot.
But still, like, imagine that. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
Seeing like everything around Star Wars Galaxy Edge, it's very nice aesthetically. It's like they have with the stormtroopers and stuff. That was fun. 'Cause
Yeah.
we walk into Galaxy's Edge and we see the stormtroopers walking around, and so like they're in like an outpost up on the top. And so I walk into they got this like big courtyard area
Yes.
that they're like observing. You know, like,
Didn't they talk
"Sir?"
to me there?
I think they talked to you and like Nolan. They were
Oh,
like-
yeah.
yeah,
That so at one point, you go finish yours, and I'll tell
yeah.
them.
So we walk into the courtyard there, and then I point straight up at them, and they go, "Sir," and then I make big peace signs, and then I just start flossing, and then the stormtroopers go, "This is interesting. We will let him continue." That was really fun.
I remember getting mad at you for that. I remember like, dude, stop! You're embarrassing me. No, but at one point,
was
I was I was standing there in like the middle of the courtyard, and they go, "You, sir, do you pledge your allegiance to the First Order?" And I stand up, and I no joke, I just salute. I salute in the best form I've ever possibly have. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was just it's so much fun. Like just all the characters there and being able to interact with them. Because at that point you're not like in a fictional universe. Like if you're there,
Yeah.
they don't have to pretend with you. You're really there.
Yeah, you are
On Tatooine.
I don't-
think.
is
It's Tatooine.
It's Tatooine?
It's Tatooine.
It's Tatooine?
But like, okay, look at it. It looks like Tatooine.
Yeah. And then the ride for that.
Oh my lord.
The line is it's pretty long because it's very popular, and so we go through all that, and it's like the game where it's like you're on a blimp. It's Guns of Icarus.
No.
You know, oh, that's a really like popular game from a few years ago. It's kind of like the way that it works is that it's kind of like that where you get you have your pilots, which were you and Nolan. And then you had gunners and mechanics. So you could have like a 6-person crew, right?
Yeah.
2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 mechanics. And we didn't know until after the ride that apparently the better that you do at the ride, the longer they let you ride it. It's a big like you're in like
Okay.
a replica of the cockpit.
Okay, here, let me explain this from my perspective because it's
Yeah.
a little bit different from that.
You're in the pilot seat.
I was in the pilot seat. So they let us in. All right. It's us 5. Yes, 5.
Yeah.
They give us all a card and they're like, here's your job. All right. It tells you what to do. So me and Nolan were pilots. You were engineer. Kenzie was
I
an
was
engineer.
a gunner.
You were a gunner. And then I think Kenzie was, I forget.
Yeah.
So they were an engineer and another gunner. So me and Nolan had the most important job because if we get damaged, so the point system is damage based. So if you get damaged, you degrade points, and they make a joke at the end. Well, here's all the money it costs to fix it.
Yeah.
So I flew really well. Nolan didn't, but we still got we got like an A.
We were
right?
we didn't get an A.
We were like a B.
We were above fail.
Exactly.
We passed, but it was like. See, there's the Star Tours ride where you know how they have that big screen there up front.
Yes.
It's like that,
It's
but
like that.
it's like a wrapping screen that goes around the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
You're in the cockpit. It looks so cool.
Oh, you also walk through like.
Oh,
You know what was so disappointing in the waiting thing there when you're like about to walk into the cockpit? They got that room there that has like the booth with the chessboard.
Yeah, the chessboard, like a replica of the Millennium Falcon.
I was so disappointed that I know that Disney knows how to do like fake holograms and stuff.
Yeah.
That they didn't just like fake 3D chess.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Because I know that's how they do stuff for like Haunted Mansion and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They do an effect called Pepper's Ghost, which they could have used in Millennium Falcon to like make fake 3D chess.
That wouldn't look pretty cool. But like all the people are touching around it. And...
Yeah, it would have been impossible if they wanted people to actually be able to walk around in that area.
I got to, so actually I went on that ride another time. That's a really funny story as well. So I got to sit there for a good 15 minutes as well, which is really unfortunate for the time base we had. So at the end of the night, I go with a different group of friends. Parker, you were with
this was after we you went on the Matterhorn.
Yeah, I went on the Matterhorn a few times.
Like, oh, I got a dip.
I got a dip, bro. I felt bad. I still feel bad about that. Sorry. Like literally at this point, I was like, you guys are slowing me down. I want to go do stuff.
I think after that, we went and Nolan went and shopped for pins for Disney. I don't know what the other two were doing. It was like just kind of everybody like hanging around looking at stuff.
Yeah. But I wanted to ride more rides. So I'm like, oh wait, and I saw my friend Andrew and his gang. Like, are you going on more rides? I'm like, yes. But right now we're gonna do this. So okay, we're gonna do this. I did that. So it was the big flying thing in the air. You know what I mean? The spaceship thing, but it's like one of those old fashioned cartoon rides or carnival rides that spin in a circle like in a rocket ship. Go up and down.
The one in Tomorrowland?
Yes. So he sneaks me in line because they've already been sitting in line for a little bit, and I literally they bring up to the spaceship. I'm like, okay, you could fit 2 people in there, but it looks like just it basically is it's a tube. It's a single tube. Just you can't like. That's pretty weird, bro. So I'm like, you know what, Andrew, we're going.
That's half of Disney. Is just like, you want to be a couple guys in a tube?
yeah, and that's what we were. I'm like, okay, well.
Oh, also, let me say, Disney is absolutely nightmarish for big boys like me. It was like a lot of rides, or like they're tubes, and so it's like, please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride at all times. And I'm like, my knees are sprouting like wings out the side of this thing.
Yep.
And then,
well, mine were too. I mean, we have very large knees.
Very, very big boys.
We're very big boys. Anyways, so we actually after this, me and the boys, Andrew, the second group, we eat, and we're with a good 6 or 7 people at this point. So we eat, and we watch the show. And one of the shows, and then we're going to Star Wars Land, let's go. So at this point, it's me, one person, another person, another person. So it's a good 5 people. So we have enough for Star Wars Land, or the Star Wars ride. So we're running, all right? At this point, we get in line, and we're like, oh, finally, we're in line. So I look at my watch, and it says, and I do not kid you, what time were we supposed to be back?
Midnight.
It was 11:30. Oh. So we're on the other side of the park and entered a 30-minute line. So we're like, okay, relax. We're gonna be in line. We're gonna finish this ride. We're gonna have a good time. And apologize to Trevor later. So we're in line. All right. No joke. Chewbacca comes in line, sits there, and I go, sir. And then Andrew turns around and screams. And then Chewbacca looks at him and he gets all mad at him and starts messing around. Oh, it was hilarious. It was so funny because he messed with Andrew so bad. Nice. It was awesome. And so yeah, that was cool. And then inevitably, so we're at 75% of the line. 11:50. No, it was 11:45 by the time. And then it was 11:50 when we actually got. So it's 11:45. All right. We're in the cockpit area. We're not in the cockpit area. We're in the waiting area.
Yeah.
When you get your card. So we got our cards. I'm like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're ready. And then no joke, we sit in that waiting area for 10 minutes. We're in the Star Wars ride at 11:50. No, we're in the ride across the park 10 minutes before we're supposed to leave. So we're in the ride. All right, we're riding. We did it. It was really fun. We failed, but we had a good time. And we're like, okay, boys, 11:56. You ready to run? We ran. By we, I mean me and one other person. The other 2 or 3 literally just walked. It was kind of sad, but boy, I made it on time. I made it at 12 o'clock. I ran across the entire park in a good 5 minutes. And I was so proud of myself. Yeah, that was probably the most my feet have ever... Actually, no, last year was the most I hurt, but it hurt. My feet were... everything was dying because we were there all day. I had heat exhaustion, I didn't eat enough.
I also had a fun experience when it was time to leave the park. So after you split off to the other group, then our group ended up mixing with Kaya's group. Mm-hmm. And so it was like probably like 10:30 that we mixed. And then they were like, okay, so we've got a few more things that we want to do here at the park before we leave. And so then we go on a couple more rides. We do the teacups, Peter Pan, stuff like that. I think we only... we did teacups, Peter Pan, and I think one other thing. I can't remember what else we did. But then it's like... after we're done with that, it's like 11:30 at that point, and I'm like, man, I really want to get something from the gift shop. Like, I really badly want to get something from the gift shop, because every time that like I've gone to Disney, it's like I want to get something to commemorate it. That's why I have these 2 blankets here from Disney. One is from like the hotel, like we were staying at the ESPN like sports thing.
There's a sports hotel.
Yeah, they had like a whole sports theme, and then the other was just like general Disney.
General Disney merriment.
Yeah. And so it was like 11:30, and I was like, I swear to God, if I don't get something from the gift shop, I'm gonna cry. Like, I was like, it got to like 11:45, and they're like, oh, well, I haven't grabbed something to eat yet. We're gonna stop in on this little restaurant. And then I'm like, okay. And then they do that, and then it's 11:53 now. And I'm like, dun, dun, dun. I am going to, it's like, so the rule was like, you are not to split off from your group, no less than 3 people at any time. And then it's like 11:54, 11:55 now. I am not missing my one opportunity, because it's been like an hour and a half, and I was like, hey, can we stop by the gift shop at some point? And they were like, oh yeah, we'll get to it. And then they never got to it. And so I'm like, I'm going to book it to Main Street, and I'm going to get something. And so I like run around frantically in the gift shop for like 3 minutes trying to find something. And then I found that. It's a little pink glass Mickey Mouse keychain. Really like that.
That looks like it's about to fall.
No, I got it hooked up there as it curves around.
Oh, I see.
And so then I get that, and it's now like 12:03. And I'm like, okay, now I need to book it back to the meeting point. And so I like run by myself all the way over there, and then like luckily I get there, and then nobody questions anything.
Good.
Like Trevor comes over to me, and he's like, it's like a movie moment. It's like, oh, he knows I split off from my group at the last minute, and then he comes over, it's just like, hey Parker, we need to do head count. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then that was the end of that.
I mean, I feel like the best part about me running back was the fact that no one else was on time.
Yeah. I was just like, I made it. Oh my God. Nobody suspected a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Disney. We also went to the beach.
Yeah, well, actually, I have one more thing from Disney. So, y'all ended up doing the like race car thing. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm getting kind of tired right now. My feet are hurting. I kind of just want to like sit down for a bit, rest my feet. And so I wait at the exit of the ride, and then like I'm just like, I'm dying over here. I'm from like just being tired. I got no sleep on the bus. We've been running around all day.
30 hours, by the way, we were up.
My metabolism is like practically dead at this point, so I'm like all out of energy. And so I'm sat there at the exit, and I'm starting to get into something that started to become a problem for the rest of the night. Is I would just be like sitting there, and then blink, it's 30 minutes later. Like, I was like phasing in and out of time. I was dissociating so hard at that time for like a solid 3 hours after that. Anytime I would like, if I would sit down for half a second and blink, I would fall asleep briefly.
Yep.
And so I was sat outside the ride, blink, nothing. Blink, old man. Blink, other old man. Blink, Chippendale in my face. Blink, there goes Chippendale. And so then I'm just like sat there waiting for a while. You guys eventually come out. And then I'm like, boy, I am in a state right now. We end up from there, we go over and we do the submarine ride.
Oh wait, actually no. Here, I'm gonna explain this. Okay, so from my perspective, so by the way, the race car ride actually sucked because someone in front of us went like, never press the gas. I swear.
They just
I
neutraled
literally
the finish.
sat there for a good 5 minutes just so I could get a little bit of speed picked up. Not even kidding. So. After we do that, I felt bad for Parker, but I wanted to get this lollipop. I get a lollipop every time I go to Disney. Yeah. I have a picture. Actually, you can show this picture. I'll send this picture to you right now.
Yeah.
So
Disney lollipop.
Biz Disney.
Biz
Disney lollipop.
Biz Disney.
So we're in. I literally booked it to Main. Don't tell Trevor, by the way. I booked it to Main Street. There's the image.
Yeah.
And I got a big lollipop. By the way, had $7 left by the end of the day, and I had another day to eat food.
Oh yeah.
So I had no money at the end of the day, and I spent it all on this lollipop. Don't tell my parents that. So, I book it to get this lollipop, and I book it back, and I start eating it. About a quarter of the way through, I'm like, I'm about to throw up. This is disgusting. and I threw away the wrapper.
Oh no.
So I had no way to save it, so I ended up throwing it away like halfway
No.
finished, and it's so sad. So after that, at this point, I'm like almost throwing up. It was like disgusting at that point. I'm sitting there,
Disney lollipops are just like food coloring on like hardened sugar.
Exactly. It was disgusting. It tasted really good.
It like jellifies in your mouth.
It does.
Yeah.
It was good for a little bit. Then I was like, oh god, this is disgusting.
It's way too much.
So I'm just sitting there at the ride waiting for you guys, and at this point, I'm in the same state you were. I literally close my eyes and I wait, and I'm open, and I'm like, it's like 10 minutes later. Close my eyes again. It's 10 minutes later. I'm like, did they leave the ride already? I text, my phone's about to die. So I'm like, if my phone dies, I'm lost, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I wanted to be lost because I wanted to be alone. Like at this point, I'm done dealing with people. I don't want to wait for people to decide what ride they want to go to. I just want to go to Star Wars again. But so I close my eyes again and I wake up and I'm like, is that them? I was hallucinating straight up. I'd like, that's them. And I look up and they're gone. I was like, whoa, I need a nap. So I literally sit down and close my eyes. And I'm there for a good 15 minutes. And I open my eyes again. And I'm like, and then you finally responded to my text. We had no connection whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like we're almost out. And like, thank God. So we go there, and then we split up. And then that's when we split up to Andrew. But that was a trip. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The Nemo ride sucks as well, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I went on it a few years ago, and I remember how much it sucked.
The submarine ride, we were like, oh, this is like the one thing that we haven't done yet here. The part we skipped entirely over the like cartoon kids area, except for the Winnie the Pooh ride, which was very relatable, in that you got that.
Winnie the Pooh ride was an LSD trip and nothing else.
There's a room in the Winnie the Pooh ride where Pooh is like just sat there still, but he's just like flipping around and bouncing off of walls and stuff. And I'm like, that is a mood. And so we do the submarine ride, which is like Finding Nemo or like Finding Dory themed. So it's like, I don't think you ever actually go underwater, really.
Nope.
And
that's
so,
the thing. They give an illusion. They put bubbles up, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's like
so boring.
But the thing about that is I was still in that like half falling asleep thing. And so we sit there, it's tiny in there, and you look out a little porthole that has a screen behind it. And so you look at it's like a window to like the outside, but it's like it has like projected images on it. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at this tiny porthole, and there goes the garage door.
Is that going? Oh yeah,
a little bit.
That's on the mic.
And so it's like that whole ride is just awful.
Yep.
It's like 20 minutes long, and all it is just like it's like almost like a Windows Movie Maker compilation of like top 15 Finding Dory moments.
Exactly. Yep.
It was like very not fun, and I just slept through it.
I remembered that from like 4 years before that. I'm like, oh my gosh, kill me. This is boring.
It-
And I was 9. All right? that was like 6 years ago actually. So I remember one thing I do remember is my uncle who was there at the time. He goes, they literally asked for people's names for the guy imitating what's his name, the big turtle guy.
Oh,
Crush. Imitating Crush's voice says all the names of the people, and it was that was the only good part of that ride. But other than that, it was absolutely terrible.
Oh, also Star Tours. We did one ride of that.
Star Tours was fun.
We did one ride of Star Tours. That was like the first thing we did when we got in there.
That.
First ride of the day, we get in there. And Star Tours, they do a thing where it's like they point to any picture of like a member of the crew in there, or like somebody riding the ride, and then like, you're harboring an alien fugitive, and I got to be the alien fugitive.
And I'm like, Parker!
It's like first ride of the day, and I'm like, yeah!
How dare you betray us?
Like when I was younger, we went to Disney World, and like we rode on Star Tours like 10 times one day, because I was like, I really want to get on this eventually. And then I did like once after riding it 1,000 times, and like it was probably the employees were so annoyed with like me and my siblings because we would just be there in the line and be like, oh, I hope it's not me, for like an hour. And then eventually they put me on the screen and they were like, I've never seen this creature in my life. And that was fun. And also,
awesome.
I have the feeling I got picked because like the entire time that we were there at Disney, like Disney is one of my favorite places ever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like everything about it I love, except for, the corporate overtones. But
Of course.
everything about Disney I love. And so I was like, there's like the videos and stuff on yours and Luke's Instagram and stuff of when we went to see Detective Pikachu. So imagine all of that energy, but directed into Disney.
Oh gosh.
And that's like how much I was like exploding with excitement for that.
Except when we were going to Star Wars Land.
Oh, because I was so tired at that point.
That's for sure.
We tried doing people talking out there.
Shut up!
We were trying to do little mini vlogs for ALWT on the Instagram, which you should go follow.
Do it.
And so we did like little like mini series. Started on the bus and then at Disney, just like checking in every now and then. And you can slowly see the tiredness build up across the day. So it's like we get there and I'm like, yeah,
Let's go!
like we're like on the bus. I'm like lit. We're going to Disney. And then
Actually, no, weren't you like, I'm going to kill myself today on the first video?
oh yeah, it's like thank you. I'm killing myself tomorrow.
And then I go to Ian and he goes like I'm gonna die today. And then I go to like Nolan and he goes like Trevor made me come. It was so funny because that was one video not completely unplanned. That was awesome.
And so it just progresses throughout the day of like, I'm so excited for Disney. And it's like, oh man, I can't believe I'm at Disney. And then it's like,
I've been up for 30 hours.
Yeah.
Kill me, please.
legitimately up for 30 hours. Like we got to Star Wars Land and people was like, it's like, Parker, how you feeling about this? And I just like shoved the camera. I'm like, stop.
Stop,
Please.
Because
I want to die.
I was like so ecstatic in Star Wars Land. You had no idea.
Oh yeah. It's beautiful there.
It is a beautiful
Also,
place.
big disappointment. I searched across the internet and there is no video footage of me flossing with the stormtroopers.
Wow,
That's
sad.
it's a big shame.
That was a
Big shame.
Anyways,
Yeah.
is there anything else?
We had day after.
But like nothing really happened that day.
Well, it was kind of interesting what was there.
Okay, sure, go ahead. I have really nothing to say about that day.
Yeah.
But I was actually real quick. You want to split this up into 2 parts? Like you want to edit that in the middle?
Yeah, I can cut that out.
All right,
there.
cool.
Well, we could probably like podcasts do better on YouTube if they're longer.
All right, cool. Never mind. And we're back.
Yep. So then, day after Disney, this was we slept in a church overnight, and I was like, that was like the fastest I'd ever fallen
Dude,
asleep.
same. Literally 15 minutes. We had in a
Dude,
shower. We
the-
were all sweaty. But
The
we still fell asleep.
second that I hit, like we slept on pews or on the floor, depending if you wanted. It was like in Minecraft when you slap your bed and you fall asleep. It was like
Dead.
that. It was just like immediately out.
That was the most realistic Minecraft sleep moment we've ever had.
Yeah, and
Just dead.
And so then we get up and it's like they provide breakfast and stuff, which is like a lot of even more garbage. This time
Oh,
Trevor's trying
so
to be
good.
like, he's trying to tell us like, please eat fruits. We have them. You're gonna die. And so
Of course, everyone ate donuts. Of course. Like,
Yeah. So we go outside and it's like, of course, the day that we're going to the beach, it's like the one day it rains in California. And so it's all gloomy out. We get to the beach, everything's all cleared up. Water is freezing cold, and
Oh yeah.
we get to the beach, we get little short briefing by Trevor. It's like, okay, here's the rules. Lifeguard comes over, talks to us. It's like, don't go, this far to the water.
Because there was a rip current going through. Same as last year,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah. That's every time I've ever gone to the beach. There's always something happening. One of our friends got baptized at the beach.
Yeah.
Really cool. Congrats for her.
You know who you are, except you don't watch this podcast, so never mind.
Yeah. But congrats. And so then we're there on the beach. I dip into the water for like 3 to 5 minutes. I'm enjoying the waves a bit, and then I'm like, okay, I've had my fill of ocean water in my mouth.
And me over here, I'm like, I've had it for a good 2-3 hours, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. And so like I go in the water briefly, and then I just go over to the beach where I have my towel and stuff laid down, and then I did not apply near enough sunscreen for that day. But I go and I lay down, I put in headphones, I put on like my Beach Jams playlist, I got all that stuff like Feels Like Summer, Childish Gambino, all that, like all real chill vibes.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best time I've ever had at the beach. It was so calm and like it was so serene, just like falling asleep, best music, ocean breeze, like tranquility central. And then I wake up like an hour and a half later, maybe 2 hours. And it's like, I fell asleep like almost as soon as we got there. Mm-hmm. And then I woke up and it's like, okay, we're leaving in like an hour or like 40 minutes. And, and I did not wear near enough sunscreen for that. And after that nap, I had the like biggest burn across my face and legs and like some of my arm. And so it's like, I'm like beat red in the face. I got the sunglasses tan around there. And then I got like, I still have, it hasn't gone away yet on my legs. Yeah. It's still like all burnt up all and down. Like you can see the clear cutoff up here of where I got the burn.
The line.
I was wearing a red swim trunks, and it was like, if I like pressed them down into my skin, it would just be like a gradient from swim trunk to leg with how red my legs were from the burn.
There was no divide. It was pure divide. There was no cutoff. It was red then white.
Yeah, it was like I would like pull up the leg of the trunks a little bit and I go strawberry or vanilla.
It was so crazy.
Yeah. Also at the beach there, it was great that there were rip currents, but not for us because there was the Vans U.S. Open surfing there that day. Which I wish I was awake enough to see any of it.
No, it wasn't actually the event.
Oh, really?
No, I think it was either that night or the night beforehand.
Oh.
They were still building it up as we were.
Yeah, so it was probably going to be later that night. But they had a pop-up shop set up on the beach. That was like a big building. I got myself a neat t-shirt with Vans US Surfing Open on it. And then we got...
And I didn't have money because I spent it all on lollipops.
Yeah. And so, we went to Subway as our final meal, which... Somehow, every single time I've gone to California, my last meal there is almost always Subway. Like, I've gone to California like 3 times. Every single time it's been Subway.
I mean, it's like, you go to California, you think Subway.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think...
You're just crazy then.
I don't think California and Subway, but somehow, every time that I go to California, we always end up having Subway on the last day. Then after that... We drive back. They brought pizza onto the bus.
But not nearly enough.
Yeah.
It was not enough pizza.
Well, it was a good amount. They were like, everybody get a few slices.
No, everyone got 1 to 2 slices.
Yeah.
And for a group full of teenagers is not enough.
There ended up being extra by the end of it.
But I ate it all.
Yeah. There was like, it was like 4 hours or 5 hours into the trip. And then like Trevor opens up one of the overhead compartments on the bus and there's a pizza box in there. And he's like, is there still pizza in that? And they're like, yeah.
But no, the entire group of people were like, is there still pizza?
Yeah. And then they open it up and it's just like, Trevor, that's been in there for like 5 hours and it's not very well conditioned in there. And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to eat this pizza.
Yep. And it was good. And I enjoyed it. And I stole it from Ian, but I don't care. Yeah. Screw you, Ian. Oh, Ian's here. Ian, screw you. Okay.
I don't think he's up here anymore.
No, he was.
Are they still up here?
I don't know. They were at Sarah's room.
They might have already gone back down.
Ian's here, actually. We should have brought him on, but he doesn't care enough.
Well.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this was a good 3 times as long as we normally do it.
Yeah, which apparently YouTube likes better, but it's harder for us.
Yeah, because, well, for you, because I can't actually edit these still.
Well,
Good luck with that, by the way.
oof.
Oof. All right. Your turn to cut it off, bro.
Okay. Well, that has been all for this podcast. We hope you all have enjoyed. Probably wasn't as good as last time, but hey, at least we tried.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
My butt's sweaty.